Happy Friday, Eagles Nation. What's going on? Stephen Hellmann here alongside Tom Aresco, Views from the Link TV. Doing some Bird Buzz, our favorite segment of the week where you guys ask us some questions. We get to answer it to the best of our abilities. Sometimes better than others, sometimes not so good.
It's tough predicting.
It is tough predicting. So we're going to go through these questions here and see how it's going. I mean, the Eagles got the big Pro Bowl game this weekend, so, not to, no one really watches it. I won't be watching it, but, it's still cool that they got a couple guys there. So let's go first. Phenomenal1239 asks, not really the best question to open a show, but whatever. Is George Lopez doing a comedy show at the Link?
No,
How would he sell that out?
I don't know.
He's terrible. I don't think he's that funny.
I haven't really watched much of George Lopez at all. Maybe it's because
he's been in some movies, right? I'm thinking of the right guy, right?
It's a George Lopez show.
Yeah, he's not funny at all.
He has like a huge show.
I know he has like a big following, but I just don't think he's funny.
I don't really have an opinion on the guy. I've only seen the show a couple times when I was younger, and I have no idea. But that's a funny question because we are like Views from the Link, so it's like, hey, we're Lincoln Financial Field. We got to rep it because it's Views from the Link. So
that is such a stretch right now. But okay, whatever. I'll
that's why the guy asked, because they're Views from the Link. So. Lincoln Financial Field.
I don't know. That's Phenomenal1239. If that's why you asked the question, that's
I'm pretty sure I don't think he's putting together.
I disagree. All right. It's Miles S. Last year we lost 6 games by only 1 possession. How long does it take before we start winning games like the close ones? I think we can be a 9-7, 10-6 type team next season. And that's just, you could say the same thing about 2015 with Sammy B and Chipper.
It's the same thing. You lose the close games, and you really just gotta just keep getting better and win those close games. How far away are we from it? I'm not sure.
You need some playmakers, so you're not in position where these one plays can lose you the game.
Yeah, you gotta get guys that'll make the one play as well, and not fumble in big situations, drop passes, things like that. So. Until they get those, however long it takes them to get guys that can do, the little things like that and make plays throughout the game like that and help the team win, that's the timetable on it. It's whenever they can get those guys in town. Because if not, then they're going to be in a bad situation for a while.
And I think they're going to get some guys that are going to be able to, add to this problem next year. To add to solving the problem next year, essentially. Because, your 2015 and 2016 teams were pretty similar. In the fact, you had Sammy B, you had Carson Wentz. Obviously, we're better off with Carson Wentz, but you had the receivers not perform well. You had some really, some costly turnovers.
The O-line was bad.
The O-line was bad.
The offenses were both really sloppy. They turned the ball over a lot, and then the defenses gave up a lot of air yards and things like that because. Its cornerbacks were really bad, and the secondary, suffered from that. So gotta fix all that stuff.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna get some guys, and we improved the roster a little bit last year. We're gonna improve it again going into 2017. Good question, man. J Brad 13 asks, why are Dallas fans making fun of Carson Wentz because a quarterback guru?
So Carson Wentz,
I guess give the backstory.
Hired a quarterback guru. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. Carson Wentz hired a quarterback guru. It's a guy named Tom House started a quarterback clinic, and he, he's known as a quarterback guru. He worked with Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Andy Dalton. Also, a couple guys that are known reclamation projects such as Tim Tebow and Johnny Manziel. But he's really good with correcting mechanics and things like that. So there's another guy, Adam Dedeaux or something like that, who took over for Tom House, and that's the guy he's working out with. And it's just good to see Wentz, understanding that there's always room to improve, and obviously there is with him. He has a little bit of a hiccup in his release at times, and the ball sails on him. You see that. So the fact that he's seeking out assistance with things that he's not so polished at is really good self-awareness on his part, and you just know he wants to get better, and that's really all there is to it. It's good.
And I think Cowboys fans are just making fun of him just because they're Cowboys fans.
Yeah,
they just need something to make fun
of. And Cleveland Browns fans are like, I just saw a Browns blogger saying something about, why can't Eagles fans just admit that their quarterback needs some like fine tuning, and he's not like as good as you guys thought or something like that. And it's like,
no, the guy wants to better himself.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's crazy that people are turning this into a negative thing. Like, yeah, no, everyone knows he's a rookie, and he came from North Dakota State. Like everyone knew before, small school where things. He was just a really, really dominant player, and I don't think they looked at those kind of things. But that's why he was drafted, because he has the mind and he's got the body. So when you can fix how he throws the ball, but he's a smart player. He's a good player, and I think that a lot of people are just mad because they know that he can be dangerous if he fixes certain things. And I think it's just jealousy of. I mean, I know not the Cowboys have.
There's no. I mean, it's getting better. You know, like
it's. I mean, I'm sure Dak Prescott's going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
he's going to work with someone too.
Exactly.
Like, everyone has trainers. It's just it is what it is. But it's just like in this day and age of social media and stuff, something like that comes out and people are like, "Oh, see, Wentz isn't really good," and it's like, no, he is really good. He's a really good player, but he's going to be even better. And it's good to see that some of these young athletes are using the resources that worked for guys in the past, and they were able to watch guys like Brady and Manning and even guys like the newer quarterbacks like Matt Ryan and Big Ben and Cam Newton and guys like that. And that's kind of what Wentz is. He's trying to mold himself after a professional quarterback. So he's 23 years old, and it's pretty sad that there's like Cleveland bloggers out there like rooting against like an Eagles quarterback just because they passed up on him, and they can't bear to think that they're going to make a bad decision. Because, I mean, when does Cleveland ever make a bad decision on a quarterback? Oh, maybe every single time. So, I mean, it's just worthless to even listen to. To say anything. So, at the end of the day, Carson Wentz is going to be a good player, and you see he's striving for greatness, and that's what good players do, and he's doing that. So.
Yeah. All right. Next question. At that famous lyric answer, are the Eagles more in need of an OL or a pass rusher? He said, put an H on the pass. So it's like a Philly thing, like a pass rusher. We need a pass rusher. You know what I mean?
So yeah.
Do we need a pass rusher or offensive lineman more? It's a good question, actually.
I think offensive lineman though.
What do you think of?
Vinny Curry's got to step up.
It'll be a very interesting question after this season.
Yeah,
and see what if Vinny Curry can rebound because he got some money invested.
And see what Brandon Graham can give you for a second year in a row.
Yeah. And then you don't.
Why isn't Brandon Graham at the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. That's
very
bizarre. I have no idea why he's there.
That's just a fan.
Jason Peters elected just not to go.
Yeah, I know.
But Brandon
Graham definitely should. Yeah, he was an All-Pro, and I mean that's
speaking
really
of snubbed. Embiid.
I
mean, whole different thing, but geez, he got snubbed yesterday. But anyway, let's go through these questions. That Ninja Zay asked the QB guru that Wentz hired, who has he recently worked with?
Who has he worked with? So I named the guys already.
Yeah, Brady,
Dalton, Ryan, a lot of different guys, and then some of those reclamation project quarterbacks as well, which he did what he could, but.
And that's why he asked two questions right there. See, Zay knows what's up. He knows what he's doing. If the Jets let go of Brandon Marshall, would you want him here, and how much do you think he would cost? I don't think he'd cost you that much.
I don't think he'd cost that much. It would be in the ballpark price, $6 to $7 million. However, I think
like 4 to 5.
Maybe.
What leverage are you gonna
have? I don't know. Maybe someone will pay him that. I mean, it's dictated, off of, what the market pays for him. So, I would say it would be around 6 to 7. He was just making 7.5, and he probably still gonna make a case that he can play at a high level. So, I don't know. I don't think that that's where they're gonna go. I think they're gonna try. I think they are going to consider Alshon Jeffery and Kenny Britt and guys like that are under 30, even though Britt's like, 29?
I'm going to stop you right there because we're going to go to Smith Boy 93's question. It says, since Howie's playing on free now castmates, do you guys think we should go after Alshon Jeffery?
Well, there you go.
Make your case.
I would say they're going to consider some guys like that.
Yeah.
Alshon Jeffery. I think they're going to consider a bunch of the guys. And they're just going to make the decision that is right at the time. Brandon Marshall obviously is a very good player, but he's very aged and seasoned, and he's not really,
I don't think that's the guy you want. I think you want a guy.
I love Brandon Marshall, but I love Brandon Marshall, but I just think Howie wants a guy that's going to be here for a couple years, and
like Kenny Britt or Alshon Jeffery, they're going to be around for 4 to 5 years potentially.
And you've seen the Eagles in the past hire. I'm not saying this is a guarantee or anything close to it, but you've seen them hire guys, and then they get players that those guys like. I mean, every team does it. Yeah, Schwartz. They let him
cherry pick
a bunch of
guys.
To transition into the scheme, and I don't think that it would be so far-fetched to think that the Eagles are going to consider Alshon Jeffery if they can get him for the right price. Had his best 2 seasons under Mike Groh. Might just need a change of scenery and a new QB that's passionate, that wants to play. And I mean, there you go. You get your number 1 receiver right there, and that's you don't have to worry about whether he can produce or not because he's proven that he can.
Yeah.
It's just been some injuries and things like that, but I think that he's had a wake-up call, and saying that he guarantees that they're going to win the Super Bowl next year, the Bears. He said that after the season ended. I think that was. I think he was speaking more out of emotion, and I think that he's just really frustrated with himself for the suspension that he got, and so I think he could work out. But I mean, it probably won't happen. But stay tuned for the Alshon Jeffery sweepstakes.
I think it seems more likely this time, right now, than it did last week. Mm-hmm. Just based on Howie Roseman. Is it going to happen? I still say probably not, but it does seem a little more likely that they're going to at least make a play for him. I didn't think like a week and a half ago that I kind of thought that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, so. But it could be a little more likely.
Yeah. And Smith Boy Entry asked the second question. Also, if we can't land a Dalvin Cook or Leonard Fournette in draft, who should we draft at running back? I don't know the other guys too well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different guys, but I mean that could go on forever. So it's just hope they get a good one. That's really the best thing. I mean, I kind of and also a week or two ago, I didn't even want a cornerback in the first round, and now I wouldn't mind if they just took a cornerback in the first and second round.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Because if they can get Alshon Jeffery. Because you know what, if you sign a corner, he's probably going to get torched anyway. So just get some young guys that are let them get torched and let them grow a little bit and try to rely on your offense for a few years and like Wentz chucking the ball around and like building that up. And then by the time the offense is like coming into their own, the corners will be too.
Yeah,
that's kind of what you hope.
Nothing wrong with that.
To take 2 shots at corners and then you have those 2 and Jalen Mills.
Yeah, I'm for filling the wide receiver vacancy in free agency. I know, like a month ago, I was saying, maybe we get Davis, but obviously a lot of time to think about it. Don't have much football games to watch because the playoffs are bad. Yep. So, I think they go wide receiver in free agency, fill that holes. That's the easiest to fill, and then get you guys in drafts, get some corners,
running back, and maybe offensive line, linebacker, something like that.
Use those assets.
But I don't think any more young receivers that are going to need time to develop is where we need to go with this unit.
Sort of stole the last question of Sunday here. BL Ty asked, which need is more essential first round, cornerback or wide receiver?
There you go. I think.
Well, I guess they didn't sign any receivers in free agency. It would be receiver, but they're going to.
If they do what they're expected to do, which is sign some receivers in free agency, I think they're expected to do that because they're clearing cap space, and it's clear that that's the biggest hole on the most likely on the team. Just because of how obvious it is that Wentz struggles to get the ball to open players that can make plays and things like that. You know what I mean? Like guys are rarely open. So with that being the biggest need on the team, and there's guys out there that that you can have at an affordable rate. Mm-hmm. I think Benny Logan's going to be another. I think they don't sign a corner in free agency and they just go Benny Logan and a big time receiver. And then maybe even if they just get one big time receiver, maybe if they get another like low tier veteran, that'd be cool. If they got like Deshaun Jackson and like someone else, that would be pretty cool. Honestly, it should go Alshon and then Deshaun and like a mid two Deshaun and Britt and something like that. If you can afford Britt, I don't even know. But those two might be combined for what Alshon's going to get a huge contract. So
he is.
You got to realize that like he's gonna be vastly overpaid, and I mean,
that's just the way it goes.
Come with a lot of pressure, but at the end of the day, you got to upgrade that position, and there's a lot of different scenarios we could talk about and things like that. But I also wouldn't mind drafting a receiver in like the 3rd round.
Yeah.
If we were to go get one corner with the first 2 picks and then maybe get a running back with the other one, something like that. Like if we went running back, cornerback, and then receiver in the draft, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to, fill the secondary, but if you can get one corner this year and then maybe one next year, you'll have.
Yeah.
Or if Mills takes a huge step and actually can start full time on the outside, then that'd be nice too.
Yeah,
Give him a shot at that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna move him around and stuff. And
right now, it seems like he's someone that they are moving around a little bit. So
yeah.
That's another question: is do we need 2 corners, or is Mills going to be an outside starter? So I mean, there's a lot of questions. I think having 3 guys wouldn't be a bad thing at all because of how bad our cornerbacks are. But I think there's a lot of work to do, obviously, and
yeah. No, it totally is. I will say it's much more fun, when you have the quarterback and then you go in the draft and you can build around. It's a lot more. This is a lot more fun than last offseason.
Last offseason we were just we were trading a bunch of things to get Carson Wentz. Now that we have him, we can kind of let things fall to us and see who the best options are and things like that. And I like that. I like that a lot. So it's going to be a fun offseason, loading up for Carson Wentz, and we both know that we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
We are going to have a lot to talk about. So, yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. We will see you on Monday or Tuesday for the weekly chirp. Have a great weekend. Don't fall asleep watching the Pro Bowl.
And we'll see you before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we will. Totally will. All right, guys. See you around.